I totally agree with Isiguzoro. At least there is a proper, a well-coordinated front amongst the Southeasterners, both the political elite, the governors, until they take Nnamdi Kanu's issue as their own issue. If you look back at Sunday Igboho's release and what came out of that, he mentioned the elites amongst Yorubas who pushed for his release. Now, apart from Senator Nyene Abaribe, who came out to speak on this, you ask yourself, what is Ohanese's, the main Ohanese, since they said his Isiguzoro is a faction? What is their position on this? I mean, you hear Ohanese talking about Igbos are complaining that their businesses are being, properties are being demolished, and you're talking about pandering to the government. At the end of the day, how are you representing the people if all you're doing is playing politics with the positions that you're holding? So, to a large extent, and I think for the very first time, Isiguzoro seems to have a genuine point he's making here. If this guy, if these people called Igbo elites can stop playing politics of stomach infrastructure, conceited politics, as it pleases me, as I best see it from my perspective, I believe that if this general interest of Igbo is a thing that should concern them, then this Isiguzoro should be listened to. Over the weekend, Imapaf, in a statement reacting to the Supreme Court's ruling, made a statement, said they should hold Nigerian governments and every other person responsible for anything that happens within this period, that they've continued to hold Nnamdi Kanu captive. And I knew, as soon as I saw the Supreme Court's ruling, I knew that this was going to be the way they would go again.
Let me ask a question, Vivien. What is this thing called Nigeria? Really, what is this thing called Nigeria?
Should we take it from Chinua Achebe's book or?
No.
Okay. I mean, there was a country.
We have to think. Mr. Isiguzoro, right? He said something in closing. He talked about conditions being met to secure Nnamdi Kanu's release. Yeah. All the lower courts pretty much granted release.
15 different requests.
The Supreme Court overturned all of them and says, no.
Go back to the drawing board.
He remains in detention. And we have this gentleman saying, we need to sit together, have a conversation, have a united front, and present conditions, or listen to the federal government for their conditions upon which Nnamdi Kanu will be released. You have spoken about Mr. Igbo, who was able to secure his release, who also said that prominent Yoruba leaders had to lend their voice and put pressure for him to secure his release. So is in Nigeria, right? Is securing your release also becoming a political carrot? Now that's the question we need to ask and answer. Should securing your release from detention not be based on rule of law? Should it not be based on the fact that you are not guilty? Should it not be based on the fact that you are discharged and acquitted of all accusations and charges? When did we come to the point where we begin to negotiate and agree, okay, I will give you 4 states, release him for me? It's not an hostage exchange situation. So that's why I asked the question, what then is Nigeria? Why have we chosen to politicize everything? You asked about politics, and yeah, politics in Nigeria quite clearly is not a game of ideologies. It's not a game of positions. It's not a game of how we would effect infrastructural development. We're no longer looking at how we can improve the nation, develop ourselves, human capital development. It's no longer about that. It's about interests. What favors me the most? We have gone from Kanu to Ondo State. We're in Plateau State the other day. Adamawa State has theirs. Yobe State, Anambra State, Imo State, River State. We're talking Nnamdi Kanu. We talked about Sunday Igboho the other day. And Everything seems to be politicized.